Hello, Howell Family. This is Prince Kerr, the voice of HC. I hope you're all doing great. In today's conversation, I wanted to discuss the importance of not forcing relationships or situations before our video this week. So, let's talk about it. First, what does it even mean to force a relationship or situation? Well, basically, it's trying to make something what it's not. On the journey to becoming the best version of ourselves, we often try to shape things in a different manner or try to look at things in a way that they are not presented in order to make them something more believable in our perspective. Sometimes we like something or someone so much that we refuse to believe anything that shows them in a negative light. No matter what anybody says, no matter what the signs, the red flags that we see, we, for some reason, keep trying to put ourselves in that situation because we believe that creating that type of reality would be best for us. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. Think of forcing relationships or situations as trying to mix oil and water to becoming one unique, perfect solution. Mentally picture that. Picture taking a glass, filling it up with water, and then adding oil to it. No matter how much you mix it, no matter how much strength and velocity you put into it, it's still going to be oil and water. There will never be one. And in the grand scheme of things, maybe they are supposed to be separate. Maybe you need to know the difference between what oil is and the difference between what water is in order to use them correctly going forward, instead of trying to force them together to being something that they cannot be. Obviously, this is easier said than done, especially when we believe that something should be or we believe that a situation needs to happen. Sometimes we're at a point in life where we think that we desperately need this thing. We just need it so bad. And if we get this one thing, all of our problems will be solved. But just like the oil and water, it's often not going to work out the way we think it's going to work out. Well, that doesn't mean that it's not going to work out, because sometimes when things don't work the way we want them to, they are actually subtly working out the way we need them to. Sometimes we think, if I don't try at this relationship or situation, how can I expect it to happen in the first place? Well, it is true that you should put efforts towards the things that you want in your life, and you should always try to commit to the things that you believe in. However, it is important to consider the possibility of getting lost in the sauce, as they put it, where you end up putting so much time, energy, and effort into something that cannot work. It is important to understand and accept that the more information we get on our journey to becoming the best version of ourselves is the more our mission or our perspectives should change. For example, at first, we may believe in a project, idea, or person with complete conviction. However, the more that we live and the more that we experience life is the more that we have the opportunity to learn, is the more that we have the potential to see what is really going on. And with that information, it is up to us to make the decision to move forward and how to do so. We often don't realize, but sometimes we're forcing a relationship that makes absolutely no sense. For example, it's like feeding a rabbit dog food, putting it on a leash, making it learn tricks, and even trying to make it bark. No matter what and how you dress up the rabbit is going to be a rabbit. No matter how much you would love for it to be a dog, the rabbit is going to be what it is. Sometimes the problem is not that you're not trying hard enough. It's actually that you're putting your efforts and your energy in the wrong direction. Sometimes we ask ourselves, when do I know when to stop trying and if I'm trying too hard? Well, as ambiguous as it may sound, in these situations, it is often best to trust your gut because deep down, you always know. It's often a situation where in your heart and in your soul, you know, but your mind does not want to accept it. Or your mind, being the problem solver that it is trying to change it, to make it be what it would like to see. However, no matter how hard your mind tries, you'll be able to feel and notice that in some situations where you are forcing relationships, those individuals are just putting up with you and not necessarily sharing genuine love and energy with you. As the saying goes, go where you are celebrated, not where you are tolerated. If it's forced, are you really going to want it when you get it? Whether it be a person or a situation, if you have to be something that you're not in order to get it, is it something that you really want to have? Is it worth sacrificing who you are, who you already love, for something that only seldom appreciates your presence? This is like throwing away a bag of gold in order to get a tiny little piece of a speck of silver because it just shines so bright. Oftentimes in situations where we are forcing relationships, we start to feel bad about ourselves, or our self-esteem starts to be affected because we start to feel like, why isn't this working out? If I am everything that I am, shouldn't I be able to achieve what I want to achieve? And we start to doubt our ambitions. But it is important to always remember that not because they don't want you doesn't mean that there is something wrong with you. Some things are just not meant to be. Oftentimes, people will even try to remind you of who they think you are and refuse to acknowledge who you can actually be. Some people are hooked to what they expect you to be, and that has you trying to keep up with that image, which can cause the slowing down of your actual progress. It is also important to stop trying to keep in contact with your perception of who someone is. They likely do not exist. We often create an image or paint someone in a color that we think is ideal, and that person never really existed. And then after we actually have that relationship and something bad comes from it, we start to feel so terrible about it, like it wasn't bound to happen. Stop singing the praises of those you are not in harmony with. We often try to look for the good in people in situations when we should actually start looking for the truth in them. Basically, we shouldn't force relationships because it's doing ourselves a disservice. It's saying that everything that we are, everything that we've worked so hard to become, is just not good enough, and we should be something else in order to get the attention from the person that we are looking for. And that's not worth it because you are important too. You are the image and representation of something great. Why would you throw that away? No one is to blame if a relationship or situation does not work out the way you intended it to. Always remember, if you are putting genuine effort towards being the best version of you that you can be, trust that you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, and the wrong person will be the wrong person no matter the amount of right things that you say. But maybe I have this wrong. Let's have a conversation about it in the comment section. How do you feel about forcing relationships or knowing when to stop trying and retreat? I'd love to hear what you think or what you have to say to those regards. If you want to hear more of my thoughts and you enjoy these type of videos, please let me know in the comment section. And if you have a topic that you'd like for me to discuss, you can also leave a suggestion in the comment section. And if you like this video and enjoy our content, please do us a huge favor and hit that like button and share it with a friend. I'll see you on the next episode of Conversations on Howell Consultations, the how-to being true to you.